Okay, I think it's safe. I gotta turn this back. Guys, I had this whole place torn apart, and not only are we doing like a surprise guitar sound and guitar, but we have a surprise. We've tore this room apart. So, how about the new look? New look there. We're going to switch the camera. New look. Look, I can get to the guitars over there for once. Those guitars, you've never been able to get to those guitars over there. I can actually go over without leaning over a bunch of amplifiers. They're all tucked in back. I can get to all my guitar, well, some of my guitars. Now I can actually say these are my guitars. None of those are Linnell's guitars. So I can get to my guitars now. So what do you guys think of the new room? All right, I have to go back and look at the guesses. Now we're going to do it one more time. And guys, I struggled playing. I literally had no time. I usually try to warm up a little bit, try to figure out what the heck I am going to play. And I didn't really do that. So tried to play a bunch of different stuff so you could kind of hear. It isn't a drop tune, just so you know. And I spent several hours working on the instrument to get it ready for this little contest. And that's all the info I'm going to give you guys. So what guesses do we have? I'm going to scroll all the way up. Let me see. Kurt said, is it a guitar you own? Yes, I do own this guitar. It is technically not just here on loan for review, so I do own the guitar. I'm chilling down. What's the first guess we have?
The very first guess was under what Kurt said. Is it your own guitar? It was Mikey. He said RGR Linnell's.
All right, RGR Linnell's. And that's Mikey?
Yeah. And then when they all started commenting, the first guess was Devastator, a Beretta.
Ooh. I like that guess. I like the Beretta guess.
Then Mikey said Schecter.
Schecter. And
then Mikey said FFM.
oh my gosh, Mikey's just bouncing them all off the wall here, isn't he?
Then Devastator said Fender Player.
Fender Player.
Nicholas said Jackson.
Nicholas said a Jackson.
Kurt said Linnell's Firefly LP. Mikey said a new RGR.
You know, I wish there was a new RGR here. I did look today for one.
Jupe said Jupe's guitar, LOL.
Ha! Jupe's guitar. It's close to being able to do a demo.
Steve said guessing Avery's playing the Fender Player Strat.
Fender Player Strat. Okay.
Mikey said the giveaway guitar.
Well, that would be the Fender Player Strat. That's the giveaway guitar, guys.
Devastator said new Ibanez S Series.
Yeah, that's another good one.
And that looks like
That's
and Steve said he's just going to say the Fender player.
Fender player. All right.
Oh, and then Devastator said Nitro.
Ooh, someone pulled the Nitro out. That's a good memory pull there. I like that. Kind of paying attention to what's been on the channel.
Zombie said Taylor Swift guitar.
Hey, a Taylor, I could rock a Taylor Swift guitar. But I can do that. Why not? Why can't you? All right, well, we're going to do it one more time.
Jude said the Tiger Stripe yellow one.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm going to put it out there. This is a free one. It's not that guitar. But it could have been because, well, I don't know. That guitar is so bad at holding tune, just putting your wrist on the tremolo throws that thing out of tune. So I would say on the Firefly yellow and black striped guitar.
Niall said Charvel.
Ooh. Do we own a Charvel?
No,
I don't think we own a Charvel. That might be on the next list. I did have a Charvel on layaway at Guitar Center. It was like $1,100. It was a San Dimas, baby blue. I believe it was humbucker single. And the frets went down the guitar like this. And it was the only one they had. Now I walked into the store and they had another one on the wall. And I had put it on layaway. And the one on the wall was a little better. I had them bring both of them out. But after looking at both of them, I'm like, this is an $1,100 guitar. The frets shouldn't go down the fretboard like this. And I decided not to buy the guitar.
Steve said it's not a Hello Kitty guitar.
Ooh, I really wanted one of the Hello Kitty guitars. I wanted the Fender. They had a white one. Well, they actually had 3 different colors. And I wanted the off-white one. And those... The problem with that was all the scalpers went in and bought them for I think they were retailing for like $4.99, and then they were sticking them on Reverb for like $900 because there was no more of that particular color in stock, and I wasn't paying $800 or $900 for a $500 Hello Kitty guitar.
Cheryl wants to know what the final countdown is behind you.
Since we did some moving around, I decided a lot of the things that I was missing cables, or I had unhooked for doing reviews and stuff like that. So that's my sound decibel meter. And to prove that the decibel meter will show you guys something here, I'm gonna plug in the Schecter.
You got 2 more guesses here.
Well, we're going to get back to the guesses. So if someone's already guessed it right, even if we go back and play it again, it's the first person that guesses it right. So there technically could already be a winner. But that doesn't mean that you guys should give up. Now, if you look at the meter back there, okay, I'm not playing. And I'm not going to talk. There's actually quite a bit of noise in this house. So about 46 is the ambient noise in the house, believe it or not. You should get one. You'll actually be surprised how noisy your house is. You just kind of get used to it. Okay. Now I'm going to play the guitar. There is no amp in the room. So if I take these headphones off, I can't hear the guitar. It's all simulated directly to the interface. And before you guys think, well, it's not the Schecter, it doesn't sound the same. Somebody may have that amplifier up and running going into the interface. So before you all think that just because this guitar sounds a certain way that it may or may not be this Schecter. Okay? So I've got the rack amp hooked up now. Now there's no microphones, so I'm using an IR on the cab, but it's all tube. We also have our Yamaha here. Let me switch cameras. We have our Yamaha right here, and we also have right there a Line 6 stomp. All of them run into the Mackie to my interface. So there's 3 different amplifiers or 2 simulated amplifiers and 1 real amplifier with a simulated cabinet that I could have been doing to start with. Just throwing it out there, trying to make it as complicated as I possibly can make it. I was actually working on this right up to the beginning of the stream, trying to get everything plugged back in. We literally had this room destroyed today. And more proof of that is, let me go back to here. You'll notice my mini rack now is completely full. I don't have everything hooked up, but the mini rack is full of rack equipment. So I do plan on getting the rest of the rack equipment up and going, trying to make the stream just a little bit better, try to get the audio just a little bit better. Video will stay the same for a little while, but I am moving stuff around, trying to get what I have working up and going. I have a lot of equipment, and there's really no sense in not being able to get things just a little better.
Can you hear me?
What's that?
Steve said XLR cable run from the preamp to the DI or just TS cable.
If you're on Discord, there was a little teeny weeny pedal that I put in the gear in guitar room, and I don't know if I can actually hold it up. I can load different IRs to this little guy, so it's a cab simulator pedal, and you can load different. So right now all it has is whatever's actually in the pedal. Okay, and you can see there it's a TRS plug inside of it, so it is allowing me to go stereo. So this is a tip ring sleeve to dual mono on both sides. The cable's too short, but it is going out stereo as well. It'll also do mono. So during the Discord chat a couple nights ago, I come right out of the tube preamplifier into my Line 6 stomp, and we took out the amplifier, all the effects, and all we were using was the cabinet, and that seemed to work. So today when I went to the music store, I asked if they just had something really simple that would simulate cabinets, and I told them what I was doing, and they're allowing me to use this pedal for 2 weeks. If I don't feel that it works for me, I can return it for 100% of my money. And a free plug to Shenandoah Music. They treat me great, guys. Once you develop a friendship or a rapport with your music store, they should work with you. They should earn your business. And Shenandoah Music does that. They're allowing me to take this pedal home and play it for 2 weeks. Use it in a real world environment. Load some hours on it. See if I can make this thing work. It's an inexpensive option versus buying a load box or something like that. I am 100% at all at what they do for me. And I know they do it for other people as well. When we were in there, they sold 3 guitars. We were only in there for like 30 minutes. They were just rolling through some stuff in there. And they've got some new people. They've been so busy. They've been hiring new guys. They're really doing it right. They really are. Every person that walks in the door, they say hey, and if they know them by name, which 50% of them, they say hey Jerry or hey Ted or hey Avery. Every time I come in, they say hey Avery. That makes you feel at home, you know. So free plug to Shenandoah Music. They hooked me up on the little cabinet pedal. We are going to play around with it. Right now, what you're hearing is the Yamaha. Okay, the little Yamaha right here, that's the simulator that we're using now. I'm just coming out of the headphone jack to the interface. So that's what we're playing right now. You know, the more I play this guitar, and this is 100% opinion, okay? I'm not bonding with the pickup. I hate to say that. It's a Wagman or something. It's the stock pickup. I'm just. It's okay. It's just maybe I'll get used to it. It's got a funny. It sounds funny to me. Maybe it's I have my EQ set for a certain different guitars. Maybe I just got to play with the well. I'm sure I just got to play with the EQ. But with the settings that I have right now, I think it's okay. If that makes sense. If I take this one, let me mute the guitar. I'm gonna plug in. Now that's a $1,650 Schecter. We're going to plug in a $475. Uh-oh. That one's plugged into my rack. All right. Let's plug this one into the Yamaha. All right. Let's open up the channel. It's got, now granted, I know it's a different tune, but this one, it's something about the harmonics. It's got, I don't know, it's a fuller sound. I'm sorry. For a $470 guitar, this thing just every time I play it, it blows my mind. I'm still gonna say best bang for your buck until I play something better, and that's what it's about, guys. I want to, in my opinion, everything that I've played, and I was looking at the stream, we've reviewed 58 guitars. We're almost at 60 guitars. At the under $500 price point, this is the best guitar the channel's seen, period. Under 500. I would actually probably put this best guitar under 600. Overall, for sound, playability, fit and finish, just everything. It's a phenomenal guitar. It's a good guitar. It doesn't matter the price point. It's a good guitar. I'm not saying the Schecter's not a good guitar. It is a good guitar. But I can buy 3 of these and still put $100 in my pocket versus the Schecter. That makes me, I'm making payments on the Schecter. That makes me kind of go, just a little. It's like, yeah, I'm still making payments on this Schecter. And I still reach for this Ibanez. But that's what it's learning. So I guess I've already learned the dollar amount really doesn't matter. It's whether or not you bond with it and whether it has a sound that makes you want to play. That's the most important thing.
Devastator said you're being a tease.
I'm being a tease. No, I said that we were going to do it twice. So when we go to the mid break, when I come back from the mid break, I won't turn the camera on. And again, I will play the mystery guitar, and you guys will hear it for about 2 minutes, and then we'll allow you guys like 5 or 10 minutes to guess, and then we'll shut it off. And if someone's nailed it, they get a free pedal.
I don't think I'm going to scroll back up that far and wait another hour.
Well, you gotta. Let's put it this way: you're gonna have to make your final guess after we come back from our break, because that's if I say someone wins and someone's already guessed it and we miss it. See, I don't know how that's gonna work. We'll have to make sure. We have Devastator in the group, we got Linnell in the group, we got me in the group, and then everyone else here will play police artist. So if we say someone won it based on this one, and you know for a fact you already put that answer in before it, just say, hey, no, I said that earlier. We want it to be fair. And the chat will stay there. It's locked in. So if you've already guessed it right, great. But I do want... There's like more people. There's 10 more people here now than there was. So when we come back from the break, we'll do it, and whoever's here can guess on it, if that makes sense. I just wanted to do something different, and this come about from last stream. Linnell said she was reading, and you all thought I was playing one guitar, and then when I turned it on, it blew your all's mind that I was actually playing something completely different. So this actually come from the last stream with you guys are playing, oh, he's playing this guitar. It sounds awesome. And then when I turned the camera on, you're like, oh. So that made my little squirrel brain think, hey, let's just do a contest. Guess the guitar. And this guitar has been on the channel multiple times. So it's not some obscure guitar that you've only seen once or twice. It has made appearance multiple times on the show. Now that's over the last, since we've been doing the live stream. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Since we've been doing the live stream, it's made an appearance at least 3 or 4 times. At least. Maybe more. So, I thought it would be fun. Okay, I'm not that good. Time serving alien. Well, it's a guess. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've done everything I could to make this hard on you. Just putting it out there. I've got 3 different amplifiers that I could have plugged into. I've got alternative tunings. I've really not allowing you all to go, well, I know that sound because he does this one. I could have played it through that. I could have played it through the Line 6 or the Yamaha. So I really tried to make it difficult. Now, you guys have nailed me twice on the free pedals instantly. So this time I said, I'm going to get them. They're not going to get it. I'm going to make this one difficult. So I wanted to do something different. But, like I said, we'll go to it when we take a break. We'll hit it one more time. But I did go to the music store, and if you look right there, I now have 2 mic stands, 2 little mini mic stands for miking up my 412 cabinet. So, got that, and the last time I went to the music store, remember I said I forgot. And I bought 2 cables, but I also bought a new microphone. So that put me down to only having 1 cable. So now we have the 2 cables. Okay. 2 cables. We have the matched pair of SE7 microphones. We also have a pair of Shure SM57 betas. So we're going to have 4 microphones on the cabinet. And looking at the back of the unit, I have a 4 dB out, which is positive, and then unbalanced out. So what I'm going to do is the unbalanced out, I'm going to run into the Pro Valve power amp and the 4 dB balanced out, we're going to run to this. So I'll have 3 separate signal paths, okay? Well, it'll actually be 6 because it's stereo. And I'll be able to blend the taste. So I'll have the IR, the SM57, and the SE mic. And all 3 are stereo. So I'll be able to blend all those. Should be able to get a really phenomenal sound out of it. That was my thought process. And what else did we get at the store, hon? Oh, and the pedal, which I put in Discord. And if you're not familiar with Discord, Devastator can put a link up, and you guys can go check out the Discord server. Everyone posts like new guitar day and stuff like that. That's a good place for everyone to go hang out and talk gear. I see we got Johnny Bean in the group. Yeah, Johnny, we're trying to get the rack mount power amp up and running again. I haven't played it on the stream yet, but I did get a little IR pedal. So this simulates the cabinet, and you can load different cabinet profiles in it. It's pretty cool. This is completely new to me, guys. I am 100% old school. So not only am I learning, but hopefully my journey going from rack mount to, stuff, I'm 100% on it. Going to modelers and now interfaces, coming out of the dark ages, I guess you could call it. I mean, there is so much technology and so much good equipment that you can pick from. I'm like a kid at a candy store when I go to the music store. So I went in and I said, look, I just want something simple that I can load cabinet IRs on, that I can come out of my tube preamp right to that, to my interface. And they gave me 2 weeks to try the pedal, load some IRs on it, play around with it, and see if it works. It's much, much cheaper. Okay, that was $80. A load box and stuff like that, $700-800. I was looking at them. So if I can get something like this to work, I'm all about it. The channel 100%. This is about finding the best bang for the buck. So if you all have a suggestion for a cab R, something that I can go out of my tube preamp to this box, then directly to an interface that's cost friendly, please go down and put a comment down below and tell me what works, because I am a newbie at this and I am swimming my way across the ocean trying to figure out what'll work best. I know my little Yamaha works, but I want to use my tube amp. I've got a nice tube amplifier, and with today, someone has to make something that works. And this was their suggestion, the little IR pedal. So I guess we could go ahead and try that thing. I like my rack. So let's actually plug this thing up. I did kind of roughly. I have not changed any EQ settings.
Like you said, how much it cost? $80?
It was $80. So this is my rack. I can already tell you the EQ's out a little bit. I have not changed anything in any of the DSP units. I have not changed the EQ curve. I haven't done anything. The only thing I've done is come out of the preamp right to this little pedal. Now if I change cabs, I'm going to change cabinets. Here's a different cabinet. Different cabinet. It sounds washy, so I know I have to go in and do some EQing. And this is what I mean. Whenever you get a new piece of equipment, don't throw it under the bus. you have spent, like me, I've spent 20 years dialing that rack amp to work with that 6L6 power amp and those speakers. Well, that 6L6 power amp and those speakers, they're no longer in the equation. So my settings, how I have that amp set, it's set for that. Now, there are some settings on the pedal, so I may need to play with the pedal, play with some settings on the amp, and figure it out. But I can hear the difference. The tube just has so much more. You can hear the isolation there. So I'm not quite sure what the isolation is. It sounds like I'm gonna have to turn the gate differently. It sounds like the gate now is coming on and kind of choking the signal. But that is the tube amp, and give me a couple weeks playing with it and try to get it to sound more like it should. See, it kind of, the delay in the reverb mix needs to come down. Hear it? I think it just has too much stuff on it. And going through the power amp, I think you'll lose part of that signal. Okay, you're not necessarily hearing it. So now that I'm using this cab simulator, I'm hearing more of the back end delay, and that's causing mud. I don't know if I could go over it and just make a quick change on the wet dry mix. Let's try that. So you're just kind of throwing a dart. I didn't move it too much, but I went more to the dry side. It's got too much in it, so I'm gonna definitely have to spend some time. It's a completely different animal, but you guys definitely wanted to hear it. But that is the tube rig. It's just not set up right, guys. I just didn't have enough time today to go through the settings, but everything is hooked up now, so I can play with it. And it could be the cab IR is not working. There's a bunch of different IRs on here, but I think what I'm hearing, it's just got too much stuff. Too much stuff going into it. So that's what we spent all day on, was rearranging the room, trying to get the room reorganized for the streams, try to get this equipment up and going so it's actually usable. So give me a couple more weeks. We'll get the rest of the stuff up and running. So that, guys, it's when I walk in and I see something and I'm like, man, I really need to get that up and running. I could use that for this, or I could use it for that. It's almost heartbreaking, especially since this equipment I used to use when I played professionally. I know it's good equipment. It's just repurposing it now for doing live YouTube content, and I'll get there. I'm learning. So any suggestions from anyone coming in, you guys can put it to the right. And since we have 27 people, You do not have to be a subscriber to come in this channel live stream and talk. I'm not going to force you to subscribe to come in and chat. Hopefully, by the end of the stream or whenever you decide to leave, you can see that this is an honest channel. We're not here for Ibanez or Schechter or Kramer or Epiphone or anyone else or New X like the pedal. We're just here to do honest reviews and look at products and use them in a professional environment and in a home environment. What works for your dollar? So hopefully when you consider all that, you'll go down and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. And if that's still at the end of the stream, at least go to the channel and check out some other reviews, some guitar rebuilds, some maintenance stuff. And I think once you look at what the channel's about and what we do here, I think you will come back and at least maybe not subscribe, but at least come and hang out. And eventually I think you will hit the subscribe button. We're trying to be different here. This channel was started because I went to YouTube and I just could not stand what I was seeing on YouTube. It was the exact same stuff over and over and over again. And that brings me to my next point. I think sometimes I kind of carry over on some things. I don't want to necessarily put something down or bad, so I kind of watch what I say. I think there's times where we do have to just kind of throw something under the bus. Not necessarily, well, I shouldn't say under the bus, to kind of go, okay, is it really worth it? You know, that's why I bring up this $470 guitar versus this $1,600 guitar. I can't say what you guys think's expensive. I can't say what you think is inexpensive. All I can do is kind of go, I reach for this guitar just as much as I do this guitar that's 3 times the cost. Is one better than the other? I think the Schechter's better made. The fretwork and stuff, it is a better guitar. If I had to pick which one to play on stage, to be honest with you, they both hold tune great. They both sound great. I don't really think it would make a difference. To me, as a player, and I can tell you right now, no one in the audience would go, oh, if that dude's playing a $470 Ibanez, let's get the heck out of here and go down the street to the next bar. They're not going to do that. They're not. So if you're happy playing it and it does the job, why spend the extra money? And now you're going, well, why'd you buy the Schechter? Well, you don't know until you try. You know, everyone here knows I want a Gibson. I want a Gibson Les Paul with P90s. I just don't want to spend $3,500 for it. But one of my dream guitars is a Gibson Les Paul with P90s. Hopefully someday I'll have it. Everyone has the guitar. It's like you look at it and there's like a halo behind it. For whatever reason, a Gibson Les Paul with P90s is just something I've always dreamed of owning. I've never owned one. I have some Epiphones, and I have a Firefly Les Paul with P90s, and I love it. How much better would the Gibson be? I'm sure it's a little better than that Firefly. Is it, you know, I can buy 5, I could probably buy 5, 10, I could buy 14 or 15 of those Firefly Les Pauls with P90s for the cost of the Gibson. Is it 15 times better? Probably not. But it's still a dream guitar. And I review guitars, I work on guitars, and I know, would it really be worth it? At this point, it's more of a dream than it is it's going to play so fantastic, it'll be the last guitar I ever own. If your wife or girlfriend is watching the stream with you right now, you better get used to that. If you ever hear your man or woman say, when I buy that, this guitar is it, honey. This is the dream. You're full of hogwash. Ask my woman in there. There's always something that you're going to see or a sound that you're going to chase, and you're going to, it's like a dog when he sees a squirrel. Squirrel! And you're going to gravitate towards this. You're going to gravitate towards that. So I hate when someone goes, if I just had this, that's it. That's the last guitar I'll ever need. Maybe someone's done it. I've known a lot of musicians and played with a lot of musicians, and they're always searching, just like me. You're searching for that little extra harmonic, or that extra bottom end, or that extra feel and ease of playing, or true intonation, or a tremolo that just you can beat the snot out of and it stays in tune. We're all chasing something, but you're not going to find it in one instrument. We can find workhorses, but is this workhorse the best workhorse in country? Is it the best for alternative tunings or thrash metal? That's where you get into Pacific guitars. They might be really good at this, but it might suffer over here on something else. That's why some of my reviews you'll hear me say, it's a working man's guitar. What I mean by that, it's a guitar that's going to be able to play country, jazz, soft rock, hard rock, whatever it is. It's capable of doing it with an EQ change and some pedals in front of it. It's just a good working class guitar. If you're playing variety music, that's going to be the guitar that'll get it done. I'm not going to go take my Kramer Beretta that has one Seymour Duncan JB in it and go try to play country music with it. It's going to sound kind of funny. It's got one pickup. I can't get that fourth position sound that a Strat has. It has one pickup. It's not going to give that to me. And even if I pull the coil split, I can't get anywhere near that telly sound out of it. It's not that type of guitar. But if I take like a Squier Nashville Strat, it's 3 pickup design, they're single coils. That would be more of a variety type guitar, like something like this. When I bought this guitar, it was $324. This is a good working man guitar. You've got a bunch of different sounds you can get out of it. Granted, they're single coils. And if you have the Strat problem and you're hitting the volume knob, this Strat you're not going to have the problem with. You can still get that fourth position Strat sound, but down here you can get the quack of a telly. Do I play this guitar a lot? I play this guitar quite often. It's not my style of music, but I like the sounds that it makes, if that makes sense. And it makes me play differently. That's what it's about. If you pick that guitar up and all of a sudden you feel creative and you start writing and stuff, that's a pretty good sign that you're bonding with the guitar. You're wanting to get creative with it. When I pick up this now it's like $450 for this guitar, but when I pick up this guitar, it makes me write differently than when I pick up this guitar or the Schecter. And that's what you want. If you've got a couple different guitars, pick some guitars that you're not going to play the exact same way, that brings something else out in you. You can see I've got a little Egnator amp over here. I plug this guitar into that Egnator. The only thing that Egnator has is spring reverb. But I'm telling you right now, this guitar in that Egnator, it's like the angels start singing. And it's not an expensive guitar, but it's a good amp and it's a good guitar. And you'll get good sounds out of it. Now, we're going to do something with the Egnator too. If you find the right Egnator, there's certain years, I'm not going to say Egnators are great, because Egnator had a run where the transformers just kept going. But there's certain years of the Egnator, if you buy, they're just awesome amplifiers. And Mike, he's one of the channel moderators, he services guitars. And I took Mike's word of advice, and I bought between these, it was like a 4-year window of this Renegade. And so far, the Renegade has been completely trouble-free. It's a 2-channel amp. I can get some 80s hair sound out of it. I can get a nice jazz sound out of it. I'm not a very good chicken picker, but you can get the quack chicken picker tone out of it too, just like a Fender. It's very clean. I'm not going to say it's the power clean that a Fender has, but it's very close. But it also gives you some dirt, almost like a Marshall S sound. So I think it's a good in-between. And everyone knows the Marshall platform is kind of built on that Fender, design, you know. So this amplifier does that. And that's what I've tried to do. I'm trying to get things that are that amp and that amp are two completely different monsters. They're going to sound completely different. So if I take those two and my Line 6 and this Yamaha, I've got anything that I could possibly do out of it. A little bit of modeling, some tube, and that allows me to do this channel and give you all honest opinions. We've had some VHTs on here. We've had some Black Star. I've got a blown up Black Star underneath the table. So do not expect me to say good things about Black Star. Every Black Star I've had except one has went pfft. So they're not batting too good with me. And the one that didn't die was a silver something. It was a modeling amp, solid state. It just had a funny sound. And some people said if you changed the speaker in that particular amplifier, it made a world of difference. But with the stock speaker, it just had a funny sound. It just sounded fake, and I couldn't connect with it. So I ended up selling it. But my other two Black Stars both died. I have a, what is this thing? It's an HT20 underneath the bench here. It's one of the custom green ones. It didn't make it, well, it went just out of warranty and then died. It was just out of warranty. Another good thing about buying from a company, see if that company has good service. Black Star has no service. There are no authorized service centers near me for Black Star. And the one guy that is the author, he does it out of his garage part-time. That kind of makes me think Black Star should really reach out to other people or music stores that have a true service department and get them authorized to work on their amps. I had a hard time. It took us 3 weeks. And when I spoke to the guy, he was like, oh, there's all these micro components on it. It might not be worth fixing. What's a $1,000 amplifier? You're going to tell me that a little micro component? Everyone says they're hard to work on. So keep that in mind if you're considering a Black Star. Just keep it in mind. I'm not here to bash Black Star, or just keep it in mind. There, it's not a hand wired amp. It's a board with micro components on it. If I open up my ART SGX 2000 over there, it's more old computer style inside, but you can at least service that. There's no micro components in it versus the Black Star stuff. So it's a little bit different. I'm going to look at the chat. Are we missing anything, hon? No? Okay. Well,
Warhart said that Telly has an identity crisis.
yes. Well, it's actually not a Telly. It's more like a Strat with Telly electronics. It's kind of weird. It's a Strat body. It has the ashtray like a Telly, but then it also has the center pickup like a Strat. So I don't think, not too many people really talk about that guitar. If you're on the fence between like a Telly and a Strat, to me that's the perfect guitar, because it kind of does the Telly thing and it also does the Strat thing. Everyone, you talk to someone about a Strat, oh, that fourth position. And when you talk to somebody about a Telly, they talk about the quack of the bridge. Well, that guitar gives you the quack of the bridge, and it'll still give you that fourth position Strat sound. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Is it a Telly? No. Is it a Strat? No. If you want a Strat, buy a Strat. If you want a Telly, buy a Telly. But if you want both and you're able to make a compromise, maybe the Nashville Telly is the way to go.
Mikey said Chatelli.
It's a Telly. Well, it's got a Strat body.
He said Chatelli.
Yeah. What's funny, it's a Strat cut body, but it's a plank body like a Strat. There are no arm carve or belly carves in it. So it's a slab body like a Telecaster with a Strat cut. So they really did take the two guitars and merge the two. I think it's cool. It's got a little binding on it. I love it for one reason. I don't hit the volume knob. I love a Stratocaster, but I always hit the volume knob. And that's not the guitar's fault. That's, you guys have heard me say, it's me. Just my sloppy playing. I hit the volume knob and I constantly hit it and it rolls down. And I never keep them for that reason. But I got this Nashville telly at my local store, Shenandoah Music, and I got a good deal on it. It was on sale for $329. I think it was normally like $379 or something at the time. And walked in, played it, fell in love with it. I'm like, I want that kind of sound, and I don't want to spend a lot of money to get it. So I bought that one. And in the future, if I fall more in love with that kind of sound, maybe I'll buy a better version of it. But right now, there's nothing wrong with that guitar. Even the better version, if I spend $1,000, is it going to be 100% better than that one? No, it might be 5 or 10% better. It's not going to be another $600 worth of better. And for what I do, again, it's all I need. So it scratches that itch.
Fox said if you hit the telly volume knob, you can just flip the plate.
Yeah, I've heard people say they also flip the switch. And they flip the switch, but then they turn around and they also change the volume. Because if you flip the plate, then your tone's backwards. So they flip the plate and then they take the volume and reposition it to where the volume is still the first knob and tone is the back knob. I've heard a lot of people do that. But I don't have that problem with that guitar. I have the problem with the Strat. But Dylan Talks Tone was saying that he can cut pick guards out and drill it to match your screw pattern, and he can set it up with 2 holes. So if I went that way, I would do a double stack, okay, and then a volume knob, and just have 2 controls. You'd still have the same controls that you normally have, but you'd have a double stack potentiometer and then a single. And then I think a Strat would be fine for me. Just move them down a little bit, give you a little clearance. I just haven't emailed him to find out how much he would charge me to make one. And to be honest with you, right now, I don't think, other than the guitar we're giving away, I don't have, oh, I do, I got a 40th anniversary Strat. So I could technically do that, but I don't want to alter my 40th anniversary Strat for that. So if I did something like that, I would probably do a Fender Player 2, or try to find another guitar like our giveaway guitar in mod. I don't think I would do that to my 40th anniversary. Yeah, SMDs. That's what Steve nailed it. That's what's in that amplifier that everyone just kind of puts their nose up. They're like, well, it has SMDs in it, I'm not going to work on it.
Well, you said they could be challenging to work on without the right equipment.
Yeah, I can't. That's past I don't have a magnifying glass. I don't have the little wire that you soak up the solder with. I'm not used to doing it. And the old saying, you can't beat someone at their own game. So locally, there's no one that will touch this amplifier. The closest person I found is 2.5 hours away. So it's just sitting here. Mike said he would work on it, pull the chassis out and send him just the amp chassis without the box and the speaker, and he said that he would see what he could do with it. Mike is very good with it. I know he doesn't come in the stream very much. Saturdays is his wife and his day to go out and do things, but he's a really good tech on amplifiers. So I just haven't sent it to him. I also wanted to send him my Pro Valve power amp. It needs a recap, and the potentiometer's cleaned and the sockets. It needs some love. I'm pretty sure it needs to be recapped, and it has these huge capacitors in it, load capacitors. They're 30 years old, so it needs some love. All right, guys, we're at 56 minutes, so we are going to take a break, and you know what that means. When we come back from the break, we're going to do the mystery guitar one more time. And we're going to let you guys guess. We'll give you 5 minutes, after the camera cuts back on for you guys to guess what guitar it is. If someone guesses it right, you get a free pedal. Okay. This time I've made it hard because the first two pedals it was too easy for you guys to win. So we've made it a little bit more difficult. But when we come back from the intermission, how can I do that? I'll switch from the intermission window to the Saturday night live stream starting soon. That'll really confuse people that are just coming in. Wait a minute, they've been on for an hour and it still says stream starting soon. But I'll be playing. So when I pull the camera up again, of course I won't have the guitar. At that point we'll have 5 minutes to guess. For whatever reason, I must be talking excessively tonight because I am like really thirsty. So we're going to take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll play the mystery guitar, and we'll see if someone else can guess it, if they've already guessed it. I'm not letting the cat out of the bag. But let's do our little intermission, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay. You guys can't see anything. So we're going to plug up the mystery guitar here. I got to make sure I plug in the right cable. I was thinking, it's like, wow, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to plug in and I'm not going to hit the right button and you guys are going to see the guitar. So that's why you're seeing the Saturday Night Live show starting soon screen. I didn't have a screen set up for this. And my amp, for whatever reason, turned off, guys. We must have done something funny. A little bit, I'll just let it decay so you can get a sustain. Had a hard time getting that one. Okay, of course, now I gotta unplug. I have to hide the guitar.
They want to know if they can have some clean, dry tones.
Ooh, clean, dry. Okay, all right. That might be a giveaway. Okay, if I'm gonna do that, guys, hold on. I gotta mute this. Hold on 1 second, guys. I have to plug the tuner in. Let me retune the instrument. Okay. I think I'm tuned halfway decent. So you guys want clean. All right, clean sound. There's some clean tones out of it. We can go to Crunchy Crunch. forgot I was in a standard, well, it's not a standard tune, but it's not a drop tune, so that little ditty didn't work. But that gives you an idea. That was some high gain sounds, some crunch sounds, and some clean sounds. And let me put the guitar away, and when I turn the camera back on, you guys will have 5 minutes to make a guess. Let me put the guitar away, the mystery guitar. Not saying the obvious, but being that I just put the guitar away, these two guitars are still here. So, you kind of know it's not these guitars. But, you didn't see where I went. It could have been one of the guitars that were hanging on this wall here. But you guys were paying attention earlier. It could be one of those guitars. Alright, I'm going to move on. You guys can make some guesses. And if you guess right, you get a free pedal. We've got some pedals up here. Got a bunch of different pedals. So Mikey and Birdman have both won pedals, and both of those pedals were very nice pedals. I don't give junk away. It's stuff that I know is good, solid stuff. Some of it might not be expensive, but it's good, solid equipment. I'm not going to ever send a product that was here for review that I feel is substandard out as a gift. It'll just be given away to somebody in need. Now, when you guess and we're doing contests, that's not when I do that. I'm going to make sure that it's a decent prize. Ask Mikey, he's won before, and Birdman has won before. So it's good stuff. Okay, if you missed the first part of the stream, I see that we got 22 people in here. I am in search of a product that I can come out of my tube preamp and do a power amp simulation and a cabinet simulation that I can go right into my interface. What I picked up at the store is this little guy right here, and it's a cabinet pedal, and you can load different cabs in it, and it does work. But if someone has a different idea on how to make that work and not use microphones, I'm wanting something that I can not have any sound in the room that's going to influence my overhead microphones for the stream. So to keep it quiet in the room, emulate the power amp and the cabinet, go right to the interface. I'm all ears. I am learning new technology. I am still very old school. Most of the equipment I have is rack mount stuff, but that doesn't mean I can't learn. I learned how to use this type of equipment, and I'm learning modelers. If you would have asked me 2 years ago if I would have used a modeler, I would have said no. I think everything has a place, and I found the modelers work really well doing this stream. Why? There's no amp in the room. I don't have to worry about my overheads picking up the signal from the guitar and changing it. I don't have a separate room that I can put a cabinet and a microphone in, like an ISO room. So the ISO room is this room. So I can't isolate the cabinet. That's what it means, ISO cab. I can't isolate the cabinet from my talking microphones, my vocal microphones. So being able to do that and keep the amp quiet is my goal. But still have my favorite tube amp. Doing what I did earlier, it doesn't sound like that through the power amp and the speakers. So I will have to do some EQ adjustments and stuff like that. But if you guys have a suggestion, I see there's 21,
Steve,
go down in the comments section, leave me a comment.
Steve said maybe a Tonex one pedal can do that for about the same price as the new X Pulse.
Yeah, that's what this is. This is a new X Pulse. I paid $80 for it. I don't know what Mark was. He just said $80, so I'm assuming that's a good price for that pedal. I didn't even look it up. I have faith in Shandor Music. When I go in, they usually treat me right. So I didn't look up what the full mark on a new X Pulse is. I paid $80 for it. So someone could tell me if I got hosed or if that's a good deal. I trust them, so I think I would think it's a good deal. I don't know. I didn't price shop it. I didn't go out in the parking lot and go, oh, I can get it at Sweetwater for $75. I didn't do that. I just, okay, it's $80. And he gave me 2 weeks to try it out to see if it's going to work. And if I feel that it's not working for me, I can return it and get my $80 back. So how can I argue with that? That's $30 cheaper than Sweetwater. So that means they treated me extremely fair. Plus, they sold it to me for $80. I bought the mic stand, the cord, and all that, and he'd give me 10% off. So I actually only paid probably $72 for it because he gave me 10% off the whole ticket when it was done. So that's what I'm saying, guys. I love Sweetwater, don't get me wrong. I've bought stuff at Sweetwater. But having a relationship with your local store means so much. I can go in there, I can get strings, I can get cables. They have everything Sweetwater has, pretty much. They really do. They can't get Behringer because Behringer said they were going to go to smaller shops, and then it only went to Sweetwater for quite some time. Now there are some other vendors carrying Behringer, but they still haven't migrated down to the smaller shops. You can't go into a mom and pop shop and buy Behringer anymore. It's something to do with the vendors. So they know I'm wanting a wing rack 48 or an X32. Their solution was Yamaha has a rack mount digital mixer. I think I'm pretty much set on a wing rack or an X32. So I may have to go outside of Shenandoah Music for that purchase. But I've given them the opportunity to show me a different product that you can get comparable price-wise that'll do the same thing. I'm all ears. But as of right now, I don't think they have a product that really does what the Winrock does. So support your local store. Go in, get to know them. And if you got a bum local store, go to the next town over. Find the store that fits you, that has the products that fit you, and build a relationship with them. It really is a dying thing. Being able to go in a music store, hang out with the owners, be able to play the instrument, and hang out with the people that's coming in that has the exact same love that you have. It's dying. And part of music is getting with people, playing, sharing how you're getting sounds, how you got your amp set up, what strings you're using, a technique, a song you just learned. It's all these things, that interaction. That's why we like music. So when you pull the music store out and you no longer have that connection and you're just ordering online all the time, I think you're kind of missing something. You're missing that interaction. You really are. Yeah, you might be interacting with your fellow band members or people you might hang out with, but the people that come in down there at the store, I see them. I see the same people sometimes, but I don't see them anywhere else. It's not like I see them out playing in this band or that band. It's good to get their point of view and how they feel about products and what's working for them, because they might be playing something completely different or have a completely different view on something that you didn't think about. So that's what I'm trying to do here. The people to your right, everyone here is a musician. Some of us are professional musicians. I don't consider myself a professional musician anymore because I technically don't make any money with music. What I get from YouTube is from you guys. I only get maybe $30 or $40 a month in ad revenue. That's not making money. So super chats are the only thing that allows the channel to move forward. Super chats on this channel work one way. It goes to the channel. It goes to giveaways, guitars, pedals, whatever. And then if I buy something for the channel and I use that money, I always ask you guys if it's okay because it's your money. I do this for free. I do it because I love music and I want to share that love. And hopefully someone will come in that's thinking about buying a guitar and they'll see the excitement from everyone when they get a new guitar or a different sound. They're like, man, now I definitely want to pick up the guitar or pick up the bass or whatever it's playing. I know we got some people that play bass to the right that don't play guitar or a little bit of guitar, but they're more bass players. That's cool. I like that. I don't want it just to be a guitar channel.
Devastator did a super chat.
Ooh, thank you, Devastator. That right there, guys, pays about $4 more than YouTube's going to give me for the video. So even when I consider they're going to take 25% of that, it's still far more than the ad revenue. And I've turned off commercials. So as far as what I'll make, that's on the back end. So when we were streaming this, it was about $1. That's about it. So now I turn monetization on after the chat comes up. And I guess after, maybe a year or so. But people click on a live stream. If they see it's a month or two old, they're not going to click on it. It becomes old news. And that's kind of a shame because we do touch on a bunch of different topics. So hopefully people do go to the channel and go, well, I wonder what they talked about this week or last month or 6 months ago. Or they'll go in and say, oh my gosh, I listened to him for a stream that he did 7 months ago, and he sounded like he was down in a bean can. The stream sounds so much better now. We've tried to make improvements. So, oh, thanks, Mike. We've tried to make improvements. So hopefully if they look at this and go, and they go back and they listen, they'll go, well, he is getting better. And I'm trying to be more articulate, even though it's live. When I play, I make mistakes. Guys, I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. Just like when you guys play. That's how we get better. I think I have gotten better from YouTube because I go back and listen to the stream and I'm like, oh my God, I'm never doing that again. Woo, thanks, Stefan. You guys are awesome. So that's $15, okay, guys, that goes in the kitty for the next giveaway. And if you're new and you don't know, we have, where is the guitar, hon? I don't want to walk off. Can you get the Fender?
Can I get the who?
The Fender? We have a Fender player, guys. It's in the baggie in the room. You want me to get it?
Where's it at?
It should be on the right-hand side. Hold on for a second, guys.
I don't know. You got so many in there.
Yeah, we got so many guitars. Let me grab the guitar. Okay. Super chat money goes to stuff like this. Okay. So here, the guitar comes in a Gator gig bag. Now, this is a $30 Gator gig bag. It's not a flight case. But it does keep the dust and it does moderately protect the guitar. It's got a little bit of padding on it. Okay. So the super chat money, it buys this. That's what it does. It buys it. And we're doing a guitar giveaway. If you want to enter to win this beautiful Fender. Look at this thing, guys. Beautiful Fender HSS.
Steven said yes. Play the player one a little.
Beautiful guitar. Okay. We're giving it away. We're just waiting for enough people to enter to do the giveaway. And to enter, you just have to be publicly subscribed to the channel, and you have to go to the Discord server and say, yes, I want in on the guitar giveaway. There's an opt-in room. Just put your name there. And if your name is different on YouTube than your Discord name, put I am such and such on YouTube. And Devastator will check and make sure that you're publicly subscribed to the channel and you're entered to win. This is an $800 guitar. Now, I know guys will say, well, channels do that all the time. This is a small channel. We have like 2,200 subscribers, and you can look down here right there. Right there, guys. We are on our way to 2,200. So please hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell if you're new. It does make a difference. The more subscribers you have, of course, YouTube pushes it out. The super chats make a difference. But something else that makes a difference is the chat rate. The more you guys chat, the chat rate goes up, and then YouTube pushes it out. So everything makes a difference. But for a little channel like ours to give away such a nice guitar, it's saying something. And it's not me that made it possible. It's the people that you guys see to the right that's chatting. If you're watching, you're probably like, what's this cat talking about? Go down, hit the chat window. Open up the chat. There's all kinds of conversations going on to the right. Sometimes it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. People come here just to hang out. That's what the channel's about. We're here to hang out, be friends, look at products, and talk music. That's what it's about. And if you're like me and you have just music 100% in you 24/7, then it's Discord. There's always someone on our Discord talking mixers, live sound, modeling amps, guitars, a new product that they saw. That's what that's about. We can't be on YouTube 24/7. So after the stream's over, people move right over there, and there's a live chat over there too, where you don't have to type. If you just want to talk, like I'm not a big typer. I can't say that drives me crazy. So I get in voice chat, and we just voice chat, and you can do video. You want to get on Discord and play your guitar in the voice channel, bring it on. That's what it's about. We've got a member, Kurt. He gets on there all the time. He's got keyboards, guitars, basses, all kinds of stuff. He's always in there doing something. So that's what the Discord's about. But if you want to enter to win this beautiful Fender guitar, that's all you have to do. It's really simple. All right, it has definitely been 5 minutes.
Mikey said, did someone just peek in the window back there?
Yeah, well, we've done some rearranging. We had a
Nobody's peeking in the window.
no one's. It's the light glare from the overhead. So we just cleaned. We did some massive cleaning. We tilted all the windows, washed the windows, and I saw something after washing this window. My gasket has failed. So the window is clean, but when you look through it, there's all these little dots. So it has gotten dirty in between the two panes of glass. So my argon seal has failed on our front window. So looks like we're going to be doing a replacement.
Devastator said it was Juke. He's after Linnell's Chapman.
You know, I was talking to Linnell about the Chapman, and she kind of smacked my wrist on it. She goes, "Leave my Chapman alone." So then my little squirrel brain was thinking, well, she's got that S model in there.
Yeah.
So I have been warned. She goes, you have enough guitars. Play your guitars. But this one right here, guys, I love this freaking guitar. I really do. I can't say how much it just, is it the best playing instrument I have? It isn't. But there's something about it. I can't even explain it. And they're like, well, if your one guitar plays better, why do you play? It has a feel and a sound, and that's what makes me want to play it. The action's a little higher than the Schecter. The Schecter bends easier. The Schecter frets feel smoother. But there's just something about this one. I can't even subscribe. You know, when I do reviews, I point out, oh, the frets are super slick, or some people don't like, a super slick, fret. This guitar, the frets are nice and smooth, but it's not like playing on an ice skating rink like the Schecter. The Schecter feels like, ooh, I can't get my balance. And when you fret it, there's no friction there. So if you don't come down on the fret instantly, you're bending that note on that fret because those strings just want to do this on top of that fret. It's great for bending and getting crazy, but I've noticed if I don't bring my finger straight in, correct, I can hear that my chording goes out of tune a little bit because I'm not fretting properly. The better the guitar, the better you need to be to play it.
Zombie said it has Linnell's mojo on it.
Yeah, it does. You know, with that being said, but if you give someone a cheap guitar, can they get really good? If the action height is, you know, a mile off the fretboard, you can't expect them to get better. But at the same token, you got to have something that's a little better. That way you can get better and better. And then we want a little better, a little better, a little better. That's just that's the chase that we do. What we were saying earlier on the Gibson. We're constantly chasing it. I just point out in the reviews, some people don't like it, so I always point out the frets are really slick, or I see tooling marks. That should give you an idea if you're going to like the product or not. Unless the frets are scratchy feeling, it doesn't bother me. I know if I buy a guitar and the frets are, you know, they're smooth, but they're not glass smooth, I know the guitar will play in. If you ever heard that saying, it'll play in, that's what they're talking about. After you play the guitar a little while, where you play on the instrument, the frets will play in a little bit. They'll polish out from the string moving back and across the fret. It will polish out. That's why I always ask people when I do crown and levels and polishing, do you like the old guitar, like a guitar that's just been played? Because that has a very smooth, polished feel to it because the frets have been played and played and played. If they like that feel, I do a very gradual radius on the top of the fret and I really polish it to give it that played in feel. And I always try to break the edge of the fingerboard right here to give the guitar more of a played in feel.
Devastator said you're teasing again.
Oh, yep, we're teasing. So, Linnell has a list, and we said 5 minutes, so no more guesses. Did anyone get it right?
Well, here are your guesses in order.
Okay, well, you need to come out here so they can hear you.
They can hear me.
No, they can't hear you, honey.
Devastator said, where's my turkey?
All right, you can stand right there, and
Don't be switching the camera.
you're not. I'm not switching cameras.
I will whoop your ass.
She's gonna whip my ass if I switch cameras. Excuse my French. All right, come on in here. I'm not switching the camera.
Okay,
She's
here's
camera
the
shy.
Guitars in order. RGR, which I think is supposed to be RGA.
Yeah, RGR. We're gonna say that meant to be RGA. And who said that?
Mikey.
Mikey.
Devastator said Beretta. Mikey said Schecter. Mikey said FFMN. Devastator said Fender Player. Nicholas said Jackson. Kurt said Linnell's FFLP. Jupe said Jupe's guitar. Steve said Fender Player Strat. Mikey said the giveaway guitar. Mikey said an SG. Devastator said new Ibanez S series. Niles said Charvel. Devastator said Nitro. Zombie said Taylor Swift guitar. Jupe said Tiger Stripe Yellow. Mikey said Firefly Gold Top. Jupe said Revstar. Mikey said Fender Squire. Zombie said K Electric.
Oh, I like that guess.
Vox said Gibson R8. Mikey said Dan Electro.
The R8 and the Dan Electro. I wish I had either one of those.
Steven said Sire. Zombie said Hagstrom Electric. Mikey said Yamaha Pacifica. Jupe said yellow or gray Beretta. Devastator said Japanese RG. Vox said Hello Kitty. Steven said Nashville Telly. Mikey said Linnell's RGA. Devastator said Kramer, final answer. Nicholas said Jackson. Jupe said Beretta or Revstar. Jupe said Nitro. Mikey said Gold Squire or Ibanez S Series. Mikey said Sustainiac. Pengor said Brown RG. Mikey said RGA. Devastator said Japan RG. Jupe said Revstar or Telly. Steven said FF Music Man Copy. And Kurt said Fender Strat.
Okay. I turned the mic up so you guys can kind of hear. I hate to say it, guys. No one got it. No one got it tonight. But that's okay. We're going to do another giveaway. But I am going to shut the thing down and we're gonna do a black screen just for a second. I'm gonna go get the guitar, and you guys are gonna get to see what the guitar was. So we're gonna hit the break scene, and when we come back, it's only gonna be just enough time for me to go get the guitar, plug it in, and we'll see what the mystery guitar is. 1 minute.
Devastator said Night Swan.
Oh, Night Swan.
Niles said bet it was a headless monster.
Yeah, that actually that was a pretty good guess. Headless monster. It didn't like the retune, guys. But we're gonna see which guitar I have here. I'm gonna open up the chat.
Kurt said,
You guys ready to see what the mystery guitar was?
Kurt said NK.
A Fender Telecaster. This is a Fender FMT. And no, it is not a bolt-on neck. It is a set neck. This is Fender's Les Paul. If you don't know about this guitar, you need to go check one out. Because everyone talks about, oh, I need a Les Paul. I want that sound. Right here you go. If you're not a Gibson fan, I'm telling you guys, I don't play this thing much, but this guitar is stupid. It's stupid good. And what's beautiful about it, I'm going to try to get up close to the camera, it's the fingerboard. I want you guys to see the white that's in this fingerboard. Look at the grain and the characteristics, and look at the inlay dots. Do you guys see the white in that fingerboard? And look at the dots. Look at how they pop. And look at the top, how it morphs. As I move it back and forth, you can see the flame coming, and then it disappears. It's a beautiful, beautiful guitar. It's a rocking guitar. It just... Fender doesn't push this product for whatever reason. I love the set neck. Look at that neck cut. The access that you have. Why Fender doesn't push this product more than they do? String through, back body. Look at the belly cut. It is an arch top guitar with a top binding. And look at that beautiful headstock.
Jupe said, goofy looking headstock on Tele guitars, LOL.
Yeah, I actually like this one. I like how they did the Fender logo. It's kind of reflective. It's a... It's not like, and I retuned it because you guys wanted me to do some clean. I went from drop C to a whole step down from 440. And I had to do some tuning on the guitar to get it down to drop C. So I can't go to 440. Because when you do that much of a change, you're changing the pressure on the neck. So I had to do a slight truss rod adjustment to do drop C. So when I went to a more standard tune, I only went up a whole step. And of course, since I was in drop C, of course the C had to come up a step and a half. See, it's not liking it. We had stayed in perfect tune while I was in the other tuning, but now I have to set the guitar up since I raised it. Actually, let's do that real quick. Let's where's my plug?
Jupe said do a review on it, take the neck off, LOL.
Oh, everyone's being a smarty pants tonight. Let's look at the neck pocket. Let's see where we're at here. Let me attempt to bring this thing up to a... I'm going to go up one more half step. And that's about as far as I'm going to be able to take it without a neck adjustment. That's why when people bring guitars in, I always ask them, where do you play it? You can go up a half step, down a half step, and it's not going to make too much of a difference. You start going down a whole step, step and a half, 2 steps. That's when you start running into problems with your setup. Okay. Now let's see what we got. It's a guitar that a lot of people don't think of. So if you're in the market for a Les Paul type guitar, you might want to check into one of these little Fender FMTs. Like I said, it's a set neck guitar just like an LP. This particular guitar has Seymour Duncan pearly gates in it. And everyone's like, oh, the pearly gates is really not a hard rockin' pickup. It sounds like it rocks to me. Pearly gates, but they'll clean up really good too, guys. You also have coil splits, so I can split the coil. Go to the center position. Now I still have this one split. Give it a little bit more volume. It's a good sounding guitar. It's one of those, remember we were talking about earlier as far as being a working man's guitar? You can get a lot of different sounds out of it. So let's go up to our neck position. like it. So, since no one guessed it tonight, that means the pedal stays here, and we'll do another little contest on the next stream. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it, and hopefully I threw you for enough of a loop playing this style guitar, playing heavy metal through it. I guess my point in this is learn to use what you have. Sometimes we and I'm 100% guilty of this, we'll go, oh, I got to have this to get that sound. How many people would have thought that I could have got all those sounds out of a Fender Telecaster like this? This is a guitar you guys have seen on the channel many times, but no one guessed it. Why? You don't envision a guitar like this doing what I made it do. And I'm not a great player. You can tune your instrument, do some tweaking, change your amp. You'd be surprised what you can get out of your existing equipment. You really can. And that's coming from someone that does product reviews. One thing I've learned doing product reviews, if you don't get your amp set and everything just right, sometimes we kind of miss the mark. I've had great guitars. It just couldn't get this or that out of it. Hand it to somebody else, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, how'd you get that thing to sound like that? That's why we're here. Someone on the right has this guitar or something I'm struggling with, and they could say, hey, cut your mids, put your highs up, cut this back, do this, change that, because they have the product and they know how to make it work.
What KB is it?
What is it?
It says what KB is it?
KG.
KB.
KD. I don't see the post.
It's from Jerry. It's
What?
under Devastator.
What KB is it? I don't know, Jerry. What? Do you mean the weight?
It might be.
Kilograms? We can weigh it.
He might have meant pounds, but hit the K.
Hold on one second. We've got our scale here, and a lot of people pick on people for weighing it. Instruments. I like to kind of know, but Gibson Les Pauls can vary 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. So here we got our scale. I'm just gonna set it. Hold on. We got to do this right, or it'll give me a false reading. Let me set our guitar over there a little bit. I don't want to drop our giveaway guitar.
Steve put a couple links in Discord for you to check out as far as the amp cab situation.
Yeah, supposedly I can load IRs to that. So we have the scale zeroed out. So this particular Fender FMT weighs 7 pounds, 3.9 ounces. So to find a Les Paul at that weight, that's going to be hard. I'm not saying one doesn't exist out there at this weight. 7 pounds, 3.9 ounces. But it gives you all the Les Paul goodness. But it's not a heavy guitar. This is a nice weighted guitar. And like I said, this right here I like better than the Les Paul, because they've eased this fitting right here. So, like I said, if you want a Les Paul and you're not a Gibson fan, maybe check out the FMT by Fender.
Sorry, that question wasn't referred to you. It was for Pentagore. I didn't know.
Oh. Sorry. I thought it was for me, but that gives you an idea, guys. So let me put this guitar away, and I'll be right back. I'm always trying to come up with different ways of doing the stream, guys. So I thought it would be fun for us to do what is the mystery guitar? If you guys liked it, post, hey, we should do that more often. I thought it was kind of cool. Eventually, I would run out of guitars that you guys wouldn't be thinking about. So it might be kind of hard to do. Yeah, Jerry, I like it too. I like the Tele. I'm a Tele person. I like Telecasters. And when I saw that one, when I first looked at it, I didn't realize it was a set neck. And I took it off the wall at Shenandoah Music, and I'm like, wait a minute, this thing's got a set neck. And then when he told me it had Seymour Duncans in it, because everyone knows I'm kind of a Seymour Duncan snob. Nothing against DiMarzio. I've got DiMarzios downstairs. I'm putting in a guitar. I love DiMarzios too. But Seymour's are just good pickups. He said, look, it's got Seymour Pearly Gates in it. And I'm like, okay, let me plug it in. And of course I plugged it in and they let me make payments on it. I think the guitar with the case, I think was right at $1,150. And I got a nice case. Let me grab the case. It's a Fender case. So I usually don't get the manufacturer's case. I usually get like an SKB or something. But this is the Fender case. I got it upside down, but you can see where it says Fender.
Mr. Fat said, hey, dudes, what do you think about, what is that, Suno and AI music production? Anyone here used it? I messed around with it, but even still not sure how I feel about it. AI-assisted song production.
I know it's becoming more and more popular. I know people that use samples and they just kind of piece together samples. I mean, don't be upset, guys. There's a side of me that says that's not writing music because someone's already kind of wrote it. All you're doing is kind of piecing it together. But there's also an art to that too. You can't just throw a bunch of junk together and expect it to be musical. So I think there's a talent to it. Personally, when I write everything out. I've got an Akai MPC 61 here. I've got a Tascam DP32. So I'll grab my bass. Well, first I'll put down like just a basic drum track. I'll get a bass track or maybe just a guitar track down. Then that guitar track will never stay. Then I'll write some keys and I'll do it in blocks. Especially with the Akai, I'll write like the chorus section or an intro or the verse, and then I'll piece those sections together, but I'm physically writing the parts. Then I'll go back and replay the guitar, redo the bass line, and that's how I write. Is it the most efficient way of doing it? I can guarantee you it's not the most efficient way of doing it, but I'm more old school, if that makes sense. We always laid basic tracks down. And once the vocals and everything got on, then we would go back and do a final track. That way you could get a groove. But you can't really have a groove track unless there's something there to groove to, if that makes sense. So we would always lay down our basic tracks, then go back and re-record. So it usually took 24 tracks to do everything, to bounce and, have open tracks so you wasn't recording over something that was already done. But here's the inside of the case, guys.
Mikey wants to know what happened to the Mad Cat you reviewed.
The Mad Cat was sold. Yeah, guys, there's been so many guitars that have come and gone. The Mad Cat is one of the guitars, though, believe it or not, I wish I wouldn't have sold. Firefly really knocked it out of the park with that guitar. One, it had really, I thought, nice sounding pickups. They've got a funny EQ, but I still thought they were nice sounding. The fit and finish and what you're getting on that guitar, it's unbelievable. They've got a book match top and bottom on the guitar, plus a binding. It's an amazing product.
Box set thermometer case.
Yeah, But it's got a latch on this side and then the 3 latches over here. So if you guys didn't see it inside, it's actually a really sharp case. So I got the guitar and the case. I think it was like $11.50, and it's really super padded. And the guitar fits in this thing. I mean, it doesn't move a millimeter. I mean, it just locks it in there. So when you get a case that fits up your product that well, he showed it to me. I'm like, I'm sold. Plus, I'm a sucker for tweed cases. I like the tweed. I like tweed amps. The only issue with tweed is it shows all the dirt. It really does. Any kind of water or anything in your house, it just goes right through it. That's why a lot of people would take shellac and they would shellac their tweed, but then it changes the color. I get it. It makes it more durable and it's stain resistant, but it gets more of a yellow color when you shellac it.
Will Les Paul fit?
I've never tried a Les Paul on it, to be honest with you. I have a couple Les Pauls, but I've never tried one in it. But I usually leave like the stickers and everything on my stuff, because this is a review channel. So a lot of people are like, well, how much did it cost? I'm like, well, I don't know. So I can kind of look at it and see what I paid for it. But this product and the case come from my local store, Shenandoah. And they set it up for me too. This was one of the guitars I went in and said, look guys, I don't want to mess with it. I know I set up guitars. I want that guitar set up to this action height, get the intonation set a little on the flat side, and let me know what it's going to be. That guitar or this case with a setup. They give me a price and I'm like, good. And they were like, well, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't want to mess with it. I want to come, pick the guitar up and take it home and have fun with it. And their setup guy down there is really good. I forget his name. What's that guy's name?
Brian,
I think it's Brian. He's the only guy I'll let set up one of my guitars. He's very good. There's so many talent. That's why people say, well, I can't find somebody. There are a lot of talented setup people out there, guys. Once you find your guy and you start taking stuff to him, and he gets to know you, then you're set. Your tech needs to get to know you, if that makes sense. And YouTube says it's having a problem. That's why it all of a sudden got bright. So let me close that out. Let me go back and find YouTube and get back to the chat. Sometimes I wonder about YouTube. View channel. I gotta go back through and get back into the... Sorry guys. We are 100% professional here. Alright, chat window's back up. Let me put this guitar away. Oh, yeah, we got to get to Discord, guys. So the Discord server, we do have a question thing on there. So let me go to Discord real quick. And 1 second, let me get to Discord. YouTube topics for live. So we got a question from the Jupester. I think Jupster's in the chat. Are archtop guitars purely aesthetic purpose, or do they play a role in sound? You know, I think everything accounts for something, just like a pot or a pickup or brass or stainless steel, or I think it does something. The question more apt is how much does it change something? I don't know. I can't pick up an archtop guitar and go, wow, this thing immediately sounds better than a slab cut guitar. I'm sure it does something. It's probably minimum, just like the tone wood argument. I'm sure woods make a difference. In my personal opinion, I think basswood with a maple cap is my favorite. Is it better than mahogany with a maple cap like Gibson does? I don't know. I seem to like the basswood better than the mahogany. Maybe I just haven't played the right mahogany with a maple cap. But I've played more basswood with maple caps that I think sound better than the mahogany ones. Then that's just me. I if someone says it's basswood with maple, I'm going to go, well, that's probably going to sound pretty good. That's just my experiences with it. I don't know, Jupe. I know everything makes a difference. For me to say it doesn't, I would be lying to you. It comes down to how much of a difference does it make. Would I pay an extra $1,000 for an archtop guitar versus a slab cut? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to buy an archtop thinking that guitar is going to sound better than a slab top guitar, if that makes sense. So that's just my point of view. The chat window's open. It looks like there's 26 people here. I want to hear from you. Does an archtop guitar sound different? Do you think it makes that much of a difference?
Mikey said maple resonates better.
Yeah, I like maple, but I like maple on basswood. That's just me. I'm sure there's going to be other people that say, well, that's a horrible combination. I have just found that maple, a true, not a veneer, a true maple cap on basswood, for my ears, I've played a lot of them. They just seem to have something, if that makes sense. Go back to the last stream. I think 100%, if the guitar is built properly and set up properly, it's going to, holy mackerel, Juke. Thank you so much. I think if the guitar is, if you have good quality components, okay, and the guitar is put together properly and it's set up properly, you've got a good guitar. It's going to resonate good, it's going to sound good, it's going to play good. If you take those exact same components and you put it together really and just slap it together, it's not going to, I don't care if it's $1 million worth of components. If it's not put together right and set up right, it's not going to play and sound right. So be more like what this channel does. We look at the neck pockets. We look at how well the guitar is constructed. If it's constructed well, it's going to sound good. I think this guitar right here is constructed well.
Steve said 99.9% aesthetic, 0.1% fairy glitter tone dust.
Yeah, the fairy glitter dust makes all the difference in the world, guys. If I put fairy dust on these two, I'm instantly going to be able to play them better.
Vox said my Les Paul has maple cap and my SG doesn't. The LP is noticeably brighter.
Yeah, that's something I can. For me, if I've got a couple like maple neck guitars, I've got a Kramer Beretta. I think it plays great. It does, but it's maple cap. I find myself bonding more to rosewood and darker fingerboards, whether it's Indian laurel, rosewood, or some of the other Jatoba. I tend to like that more than a maple fingerboard. I like maple on basswood bodies more than a maple on mahogany body. Is there anything to it? I can't say there's nothing to it because I know over the years I gravitate more to basswood with maple than mahogany and maple. So there's got to be something to it because I've done it and not even realized it. People, oh, that's basswood. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Or, oh, that's ebony. I love ebony. And people are like, oh, that's ebony. Well, maybe that's why I like it. So I always seem to like ebony fingerboards the most. Second, rosewood, and then third, maple. I think once you find what you like, and you unmistakably pick it, and you didn't know you picked it, that's usually a pretty good sign that you like it. So there's got to be something to it. I just don't know what the magic fairy dust or magic equation is. That's why I tell people I think 95% of it is how well is the guitar put together and crafted. That's going to make all the difference in the world. I bought this guitar, it's neck through, for sustain. I did. I bought it for the sustain and the playability. But I can name many luthiers that are far better than I'll ever be that'll say this is the worst on sustain. Neck through the worst, set neck second, and bolt on the best. I'm not going to argue with them because they've been building guitars for 40 years, and they've built $20,000-$30,000 guitars, and they say a bolt-on's best, set neck second, and neck through is the worst. I don't know. That's their opinion, and their opinion as far as musicians go is going to be far higher than mine. They've earned a reputation in the industry. They've built very high-end guitars, and they still build high-end guitars, and their opinion in the music circle holds more weight than mine. Period. And that's what they say. Do I have an opinion? Do I think this guitar sustains more than some of my bolt-ons? I don't think it does. I think if I turn on the Sustainiac, it does. Just being honest with you. But without the Sustainiac, I didn't pick this thing up and go, oh my gosh, this thing sustains like it's out of this world. I didn't get that feeling. But the guitar plays good. And I don't feel it at what I paid for it that I got hurt. Because this guitar has something no other guitar here in the house has. It has this great access. And it has great fretwork. The top of the frets and the way the frets are done. When I play it, it feels easier to play. So it's definitely worth the asking price for me.
Mr. Fat said, what about those cheapo guitars from Amazon for like $200 to $250? Are those frets any good that could last more than 6 months playing them hard every night, and can a Firefly hold up?
Well, that's another good question because a lot of the Amazon guitars have stainless steel frets. I want to qualify that there are different grades of stainless steel. So there is poopy stainless steel and there's good stainless steel. Is poopy stainless steel still harder than a good nickel silver fret? Probably a little. Just a little. Even a crap grade of stainless steel is going to be a little harder than the best quality nickel fret. I can't say that all Amazon guitars are bad. eArt, we had an eArt headless on this. You can go back and watch some of my Amazon reviews. The freaking eArt neck was phenomenal. It played so nice. I didn't personally care for the pickups, but as far as the fretwork and the way that guitar played, the eArt was phenomenal. I've had some Grote on the channel. That was okay for the price point. We're talking $130 guitar. At a $130 guitar, the Grote had stainless steel. I didn't like the pickups again, but it had a baseball thick neck, but it still played great. I'm not a big, when I say Grote, the Grote, I had a Grote Telecaster and a Super Strat on the channel. They were thick necks. I got used to it. They played fine. At $130, you can definitely put $50 or $60 in the pickups and have a good guitar. The thing with the Grote that I noticed, the tuning keys were good. Now, Grote has since changed. I want to qualify. If you go back and look at my Grote, it looks like the same guitar. They no longer have the same tuning keys on it, and they've changed a bunch of other things. Now it's like $89 for the Telecaster and like $109 for the Strat. It looks the same, but they've made changes. So I can't tell you if the new tuning keys are good or not. Now the Valgoa Grote Headless with the HPL fingerboard, don't even think about it. Just buy it. I'm telling you now, buy that guitar. It's $299. The neck alone is worth $299 in the body. Again, the pickups were so-so. But for $299, you're getting a high-pressure laminate fingerboard? Come on. It's $299. It's an awesome guitar. And it's $299 right now on Amazon. Unbelievable fretwork, and the material on the fretboard is phenomenal. Buy the guitar. If you want a headless guitar, it's a kooky shape, I get it. But high-pressure laminate, headless guitar for $299. Put these pickups on it. Go right now to Reverb and buy these pickups that's in this guitar. You can get them for $50 for both sets. Okay. What's the name on these pickups, hon? Quantum. Ibanez Quantum pickups. I was just looking at them last night. $50-$60 shipped to your house. Buy that. It depends. It could be a Grote or a Valgoa. Grote and Valgoa is the same company. Exact same thing with Redid. Redid guitars, Valgoa and Grote, same company. It depends on what production run. I think right now it's a Grote with the XPL, HPL fingerboard for $299. Get those pickups, get that guitar. You got $350 in it. You're not going to beat it. It's going to be awesome. I can't down some of the Amazon guitars. Are there some duds out there? Absolutely. If you watch this channel, there's a company that sells on Amazon that I think if they get their act together, they'll build good instruments. Right now, I just can't. I can't say buy one because the fretwork is so bad. I don't want to keep throwing the company under the bus because it's been about 10 months since I reviewed one. So I want to get another one and see. Are they still having fret issues and quality control issues? If they are, then I can't. And it's Leo James. I want to qualify that because both monsoons that I ordered, I liked playing them. It reminded me of this Ibanez. It did, but it was just horrible work quality. I don't have that issue with this Ibanez. If I pay $250 for the monsoon on Amazon, I've got to put tuners on it. Okay, I got to replace the jack, and I've got to go in and fix some of the soldering work. I'm sorry, I'll just spend the $450 on this one. And the nicer monsoon is $299. For $100 more, just get the Ibanez. I hate to say that. This channel's about honesty. I can't recommend the product. By the time now, if you want to do the work and it makes you happy, okay. But what I've seen with Leo James, it's not a high fret. They're usually low frets. And low frets, you got to sand them all. As soon as I get one in and has one or two high frets, great. It's easily fixed. But low frets, you're sanding them all. That KGD. So I don't throw anybody under the bus. I've had good luck with Grote, even though that's a super cheap guitar. It's a $130 guitar. West Creek, we did a double cut West Creek. Out of the box, it had negative back bow. I had to loosen the truss rod. Once I did that, that guitar played great. I think it was a single or a dual P90 double cut. It was a great playing guitar. You can go back and look at the review on it. It was pretty obvious. I pointed out, look, this thing's needs a truss rod adjustment out of the box. If a mother bought that for their kid, most likely it was going back because they didn't know all they had to do was go in here and adjust the truss rod to fix it. You're buying a $200 guitar or a $150 guitar, there's going to be issues. What we try to find here are the gems. What can you buy at that price point that's a gem? The Firefly Mad Cat, I think that's a gem of a guitar. Stainless steel frets, got decent pickups, a lot of nice body work on it. I think it's a gem. The new Firefly FFM, I think it's a gem too. But you can count on fixing the tremolo. You're not buying a $260 guitar with a Floyd Rose bridge and think that you're getting something that's going to hold up. It's a cheap bridge. You're going to be putting money in the bridge. This Firefly right here, this George Lynch version, it's got a bad bridge. But if you go to a fixed tail guitar like the Monsoon, you can get let's say a $250 guitar that will serve you well. They're out there. Maybe I was just bad luck. Maybe I constantly got the bad one. I don't know. Maybe that's what took place. I can't recommend Leo James for that reason. But there's other ones on there. We're thinking about bringing an IYV in. I hear about that guitar a lot. It's a $160 IYV. We're going to order one. We're going to find out if it's any good or not. This channel was started doing stuff like that. I just it was like beating a dead horse. If you're into it, I think it's great. It's fun. You can learn to do, fret work, fret leveling, fixing stuff. I think it's great. Are you going to buy one and pull it out of the box and have no issues? Probably not.
They want you to review a PRS, and then Steve just said, I bet the music store has a PRS SE that you could review.
We are going to review a Court really soon. Oh, come on, guys. That was kind of funny. You want me to review a PRS? I said I was going to review a Court. Court makes PRS. I don't have the budget to review a PRS that's made right here, 45 minutes from my house. I can review a Court PRS. That's who makes their imports. Yeah, we need to do that. If you guys are okay with that, that's great. If Paul Reed Smith, 45 minutes away from here, wants to send me a guitar, a real PRS, I would love to review one. But if we get one, it's going to be an import, and that's going to make it a Court. And that's cool. They've got one for $4.99 I hear good things about. They've cut some corners. They've put a matte finish on it. I'm sure it's a little bit cheaper pickup, a little cheaper hardware. But I still hear good things about it for $4.99. And they also have another tier. It's up to about $8.50. I think that's a great guitar too. To put it this way, I go to music stores. I have yet to pick up a PRS guitar at the music store and go, this is just a POS. I've never done that. And I've picked up a lot of Paul Reed Smiths. Every one I pick up, I'm like, wow, this is a nice guitar. Whether it was I've never played the $4.99 one. I've played the $650 one, the $850 one, and I've played some core models back when I was thinking about buying one a couple years ago. I've never picked one up and just went, this thing's awful. Every one I pick up, I'm like, wow, this has got a nice feel to it. The guitar just feels substantial. It feels nice to fret. I didn't feel anything wrong with them. That's just puttering around at the store. So, again, I think they do a really good job. I think, for the most part, Ibanez does a good job. But I think PRS, they have it more under control, if that makes sense. They didn't go to Court and say, build our guitar. They went to Court and said, we want to build a guitar this way. And Court was like, well, you're going to have to build another building. And that's what PRS does. Everything Court builds for them is in a completely separate building that's overseen by PRS. So I get it. I get why they did that. Guys, if you don't know, I am a diabetic and I need to get a snack. So This is going to be one of those 3-break shows. So since my sugar's going down a little bit, I need to get a snack. So we're going to take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll discuss what guitar that the channel needs to get for the upcoming review. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to eat on camera, but being a diabetic, sometimes it's so difficult. I'm sitting here talking and eating all at the same time. This is the opportunity for me I want to say thanks to everyone that does super chats. I want to say thanks to everyone that contributes in the right hand side of the chat. I couldn't do this without you guys. I really couldn't. We don't have to agree on everything. That's what it's about. Your opinion matters. Put your opinion to the right. I mean, when we make suggestions and we talk about products, a lot of times I miss things. When I review things, I miss things. And that's what the chat, when we do live reviews, everyone contributes. And that's what makes the channel different.
Pennycore said, oh hell, eat on camera. It wouldn't be the worst thing I've seen in the last 24 hours. Trust me on that.
I'm sorry, guys. I am a diabetic. And about 2 months ago, I started feeling it. And I was like, well, it's not too bad. I can hold off. But I started feeling it going down pretty quick. So I won't even say the older we get. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have what's called juvenile diabetes. But I didn't get it when I was like super young. I got juvenile diabetes when I was 27. And I was working, and the last thing I remember, I was welding steel together on some ornamental railings, and I woke up in Fairfax Hospital a week later. Went into a diabetic coma. They said my blood sugar was 1400, and it was the highest on record. They couldn't figure out how come I was still alive, and I was like, well, thank you. But I think I went into the coma to protect myself in case I didn't wake up. But they were able to get my sugar down, and I did come out of the coma a week later. And ever since then, been type 1 diabetic. My pancreas does not work at all. So when my sugar crashes, that means that I've taken too much insulin to what I've ate. So when I eat dinner, I have to guess on how much insulin I need to take. And if you're a diabetic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes we can take too much insulin because we think we're going to have a very sedative day. We're not going to be very active. But once you take that insulin, it's in your system. So then if you become super active, well, now your body's also burning the sugar and the insulin's doing it, and you'll start crashing. So it's something really hard to kind of regulate. Well, this is like Discord. I was on Discord the other night, and they were posting pictures of bacon and all kinds of food. I'm like, my God, guys, you guys are making me so hungry talking about bacon. I love bacon.
They've been talking about bacon on the street.
We're going to start posting. We're going to have a recipe room on Discord. I'm looking back on the chat to see if I missed anything. Pennerword says, thanks for correcting my typo. I suck on keyboard. Oh. Hot cocoa, that'll bring my sugar up. Yeah, they were talking bacon. Oh, that's right. Pennerword likes bacon. Mark says she was a good housekeeper.
That's because Mark said in the beginning, he said, I don't believe you, brother. I used to be married, and I was told many times my opinion didn't matter.
Well, just so everyone knows, Linnell, I couldn't do anything without Linnell. I didn't get it right, you know. Linnell kind of whipped me into shape, and we worked together. I do this, she does this, and together it's a team. But Linnell has saved my life so many times. Sometimes I'm a diabetic. She'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'm sweating, I'm laying in water. And she'll run out to the kitchen and get orange juice and somehow miraculously get me up and conscious enough to drink the orange juice and work me out of it. Not just that, it takes two. Everything we do, if one of us slacks, then it just hurts the other one. So I am very fortunate to have someone like Linnell that one loves me and gets it, if that makes sense. So when you stop and think about your life and what you're doing, don't forget about how fortunate we are. You know, I don't care, you know, you're fortunate. If you're able to sit here and watch this stream and be able to interact in music, that's a fortunate life. You're fortunate to be able to do that. And I count my blessings every day that I get up, I can go to work, I make enough money to keep the electricity on here, feed the family, and have my hobbies. That's what I call this now. I'm not a professional musician. It's a hobby. So I am very fortunate to have a home and have a vehicle that I can get back and forth to work with that's dependable and support my family. That's what it's about. Do I want things? And sometimes I get, I should be able to do this. I work. We do the best we can. And we should be happy that we can do those things, if that makes sense. Don't mean to kind of get off on a sad or whatever. It shouldn't make you sad. We're here and we're friends and we're talking music and we're fortunate to be able to have such a great hobby. And it's a hobby that we need to tell other people about. I guess that's my point. Bring more people into the fold so they get, whether it's bass, guitar, keys, drums, singing, you know, doesn't matter what it is. This is a great thing. And it's creative. It's like being an artist, okay? Musicians, for the most part, are out-of-the-box thinkers. We approach things differently. We think differently. And you have to. That's what makes music. Mozart, all these people, they thought differently. That's why we go back, it's like, wow, how did he put that together? It's just artists, musicians, our brains are wired a little different. When we approach instruments and music, talk to people. If they're not a musician, usually they're kind of like, why do you think that way? You know, when you look at, you know, diminished scales and stuff like that, you got to approach things a little different, if that makes sense, and you apply it to your music. That's how I kind of approach things. That's just me. All right, sugar's up a little bit. I'm just barely shaking. So I'm going to have some hot cocoa. I apologize for that, guys. Exactly, Mikey. Don't live outside your means. I think a lot of times, let me grab a smoke. I think a lot of times we think something will make us happy, but if we have to work and we're never home to be able to enjoy it, how much happiness are you going to get out of it? That's the key. How much are you really going to be happy? Is this our only pack, honey? Oh my
Bach said, remember that it was crazy people that built the ark, but experts that made the Titanic.
God.
You know, the ark didn't sink, but the Titanic did.
I like that analogy, Vox. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, we have a tendency of sometimes overthinking some things. Sometimes that's why I tell people I'm more of a feel player. And that doesn't mean that I don't sit down and write things out. I do. I write out my music when I record it. But the basics of the song or something I'm doing, it comes from a feeling. And if I don't have that groove or that cadence, if that makes sense, that makes me want to do that, I'm throwing a dart at that point. I play better when I just pick the instrument up and play. If I put too much forethought in it, I find myself stumbling over, oh, I need to hit this note, or I need to go to this note, and then it's almost like it loses its fun, if that makes sense. Just like learning a complicated song, learning the song is a pain in the butt. But once you learn it and you don't have to think about playing it anymore, then it becomes fun.
Kurt said questions off Discord. Kurt put something that you didn't read, I don't think.
Questions on Discord. I probably didn't get to them all. You know my little squirrel brain.
Well, there was only one from Kurt under juice.
Okay, we got one more. Let's get to this one, guys. Oh, I just hit the wrong button. So, when reviewing guitars, I would like to see a neck dive test with nylon strap and also a leather strap. Yeah, I don't know. I've thought about that. I usually do what do they call it, the handshake thing, where I just kind of do this number. But I guess I could start doing a strap and jumping up and down. I've just never, I don't think I have like a regular strap that doesn't have the, it's like a suede on the inside that sticks. I've always bought straps like that so I know I don't have that issue. So I would probably have to buy like a smooth strap, something that would have less friction right here to actually do neck dive tests. The only one I have I know is suede, and that sticks to my shirt and it sticks to whatever I'm wearing. So that would not be an accurate way of testing neck dive. But if that's something that you guys want, I can definitely just pick up a nylon cheap strap and actually see what the neck dive test would do.
Mr. Fat says, what's the live scene today in 2025? Are we still rocking live, or is the live venues dive bars dying?
I don't, in my area, the live scene has really died off as far as smaller bars. We do have a place that's come in Winchester that is getting larger name bands in. The drawback is they don't seem to be inviting too many small local bands in. So I think the open mic scene has kind of died where I'm at. There for a while it was really big. I think that's really area dependent. Where I'm at, which is Northern Virginia, it's kind of died off. It's not like it was 20 years ago when we had Blackies and the Sharks Club. These were big venues, and they let larger local bands in. We don't. I can't really think of a venue like Honey Bears or Blackies that exists anymore. I don't even know if you built it, if you could fill the place. We're talking a venue that held, I don't know, 700 to 1,000 people, and they would fill it on a Friday and Saturday night. The Sharks Club, Blackies, and Honey Bears, they were full, and it was standing room only. It was like trying to work your way through a. It'd take you 15 minutes to get to the bar, and you could see it, just fighting through the people. I just don't know if those venues exist, and they probably, well, they don't exist around here. If they even built it, I don't know if they could fill it to pay their overhead. I don't know. I think a lot of things have changed. That's why we do the YouTube now. That's why I'm here doing YouTube. This is my outlet for missing what I used to do, and contributing and teaching people working on guitars, or me learning from you guys how to set up rigs and do different things. Is YouTube dying? I've seen some videos on that. I don't necessarily think YouTube is dying. I think what they're seeing is, I think people are getting smarter, and they're looking at some of these channels that just pushed cheap guitars with Amazon links or affiliate links, and now their viewership, they still have the subscribers, but their viewer count and click rates going down. I think just as many people are watching YouTube today as they did 3 years ago. I just think there's more channels. I truly believe that. I watch 4 channels right now that started right after I started doing reviews. There's just a lot of content on YouTube. And I think these larger channels got used to, there wasn't that many channels to pick from. Now there's 1,000 channels to pick from. Do I try to compete with them? I don't. I have no interest in competing with the Joneses. I think that what we do here is different enough to where it should attract the right people. And hopefully I do enough right versus what I do wrong I guess what I do, hopefully I do more right than wrong, and that kind of balances, if that makes any sense, if you get what I'm trying to say. And hopefully people will come here and they'll see that it's an honest point of view, and they'll come back for it. And as far as the live streams, hopefully they come back when they see the people in the chat. All different walks of life in the chat. So, I can't get over, every time I do a stream, I can't get over how well the stream has went over, if that makes sense. I really didn't think it would still be going on. I figured I would do it for a couple months, and I go, okay, that's not working. I'll go back to doing this. But I can honestly say the live streams and the live reviews work so much better, and I enjoy it more. It's less work and more about why I do music to start with, for fun and enjoyment. I mean, there for a while, YouTube was just sucking the life out of me. I would spend so much time editing videos and doing this to try to make it perfect, and then I might get 1,000, 2,000 views on it. And then over time, I've got some videos I think are like 15, 16,000 views for my little channel. That's pretty good. But it was not fun, if that makes sense. You have to have fun and remember why you picked the guitar up to start with. Doing it in this format, it's still fun. I can still enjoy what I love. When it becomes work and I dread having to sit down and do a review, That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here because I love music and I love guitars. And I don't want to put myself in a position to where I can't enjoy it. So the new format definitely works better when it comes to that. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not, but it does. This works. And Discord works. It does. I'm not on Discord every night because some nights my real job, I just tired. I get home and I got to go to bed. That's just how it is. So this format works. It works for someone like me that doesn't do YouTube for a living. And since I don't do YouTube for a living, I don't expect you guys to see anything on the channel that's pushing a product or this or that, if that makes sense. Because this is not where I'm making my living, if that makes sense. I don't have to be polite to Ibanez or Schecter or Kramer or Epiphone because those companies aren't keeping the lights on, if that makes sense. So let me double check everything here. We have been on for 3 hours. Oh my gosh. We do some long streams here, guys. I think we're going to call it a night because I have to work tomorrow. So I have to get up early and be in the Northern Virginia area for work. This is my second weekend working weekends. So I think we're going to end it here, guys. Hopefully we touched base on some new stuff and you guys have liked the new game we played. No one got it, but we'll play again. I'll come up with another game for the next Saturday night live stream. And if you have questions that you want to put in on the next stream, I may not have the answers, but the question gets put up, and then the people to the right can engage, and then we also have the comment section down below. So you can go to Discord, go to questions room, put your question up. That gives y'all, actually our next stream will be Thursday. So gives you a couple days to think about what you want to talk about. Even if it's not a question, you can put just general topics in there too. And that points us in the direction for the next stream. And I see there's 22 people. It kind of goes up and down. If you want to enter to win the Fender Player, you have to be publicly subscribed. And you have to put your name and your YouTube name in the opt-in room on the Discord server. And you're entered to win a brand new Fender Player 1 HSS Fender Strat. Beautiful guitar. It's free. And it's free to become a subscriber. Discord's free. So we're not asking you for anything. The people to your right have paid for the guitar. Super chats and all that is what pays for the products that we give away. And again, without the people to the right, this channel wouldn't be here. They're the subscribers and the donators, and they make it happen. So again, I want to say thank you to every one of those people. The only channel that does it, we have a 5-minute ending chat. So if you are talking about a topic and it just cuts you off, you don't have to worry about it. You have 5 minutes to end your conversations or start a new one about whether or not you're going to Discord or maybe you're going to a completely different stream. You know, you all want to load up and go to Johnny Bean's stream or someone else's stream. You all can be the music and gear and invade someone else's stream. So that's always fun. But we got 5 minutes, guys. And again, I can't thank you guys enough. From the bottom of my heart, love you guys to death. And hopefully we'll get more and more people in the stream. Tonight we almost got to 30. So we are getting more and more participation each week. So that's a good thing. All right, guys, I got to figure out which button that I actually hit here. I don't know if it's this one. I think if it's not this one, I'll switch it really quick. But I think it's this one. Thanks again, guys. And I'll see you all either on Discord or next Thursday night for our next live guitar review next Thursday. All right, guys. Thanks again.